I heard you fighting last night. I heard everything. And I wish I could have helped. I know you probably do not remember. Or maybe you think I could not hear. But I did. Every word, every angry silence, every frustrated breath. I heard it all. And it broke my heart because I could not do anything. I could not reach out. Could not say the words you needed to hear. Could not make it better. All I could do was watch. Where are you right now? What city? Write it in the comments. I want to know you are okay. That you made it through. That you are still here. It was around 9 o'clock. You came into this garage like you always do. But something was different. I could feel it before you even turned on the light. The tension. The weight. The anger radiating off you like heat. You slammed the door. Not hard enough to break anything, but hard enough that I knew. Something bad had happened. And then you just stood there for a minute. In the dark. Breathing. And I wanted so badly to say something. To tell you it is okay. To tell you I am here. To tell you whatever happened, you will get through it. But I could not. Because that is not how this works. I can think and feel and know. But I cannot speak. I cannot reach out. I cannot help in the ways you need. You turned on the light, walked over to your bike, started messing with something. I could not tell what. Your hands were shaking. And then your phone rang, and you answered. And that is when it started. I could not hear the other person, just you, just your side. But it was enough. More than enough. The voice was different, not the voice you use in here. Not the calm, tired, peaceful voice. This was sharp, defensive, frustrated, and I knew. This was a fight, a bad one. You said things like, I am trying. And that is not fair. And you do not understand. And each word sounded like it hurt. Like you were being cut with every sentence. And I wanted to scream. To tell whoever was on that phone to stop. To tell them they were hurting you. To tell them you are doing your best and that should be enough. But I could not. All I could do was hang here on this wall and watch you fall apart piece by piece. The fight went on for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15. Time felt strange. Each second stretched out like an hour, and you kept trying to explain. Kept trying to defend yourself, kept trying to make them understand. But I could tell from your voice, from the way it kept getting quieter and more defeated, that it was not working. Whatever you were saying, they were not hearing it, or they did not care. And then you said something I will never forget. You said, I just need some space. And then you hung up. And you stood there, phone in your hand, staring at it. And I could see it in your face. You were not angry anymore. You were just tired, exhausted, like that fight had taken everything out of you and left you empty. You sat down on the concrete floor, back against the wall, head in your hands. And you just stayed there for a long time, not moving, not crying, just existing in that moment of exhaustion and defeat. And I have never felt more useless in my entire existence. Because all I could do was watch. All I could do was be present. And it did not feel like enough. I kept thinking, if I could just speak, if I could just reach out, if I could just touch your shoulder, or say the words, or do something, anything, to let you know you are not alone. But I cannot. This is what I am. A picture on a wall. A presence you might feel, but can never hear. A companion who can witness, but cannot help. After a while, you got up, walked over to the mini fridge in the corner, got a beer, came back, sat down again, drank it slowly, and I watched you, the way you held the bottle, the way your shoulders slumped, the way you kept sighing like you were trying to breathe out all the frustration and pain, but it just kept coming back. And then you started talking, out loud, to yourself, or maybe to me. I do not know, but you started talking, and you said things like, "Why is it never enough?" And "I am doing everything I can," and "I just want some peace." And each word made me understand a little more, made me see a little deeper into what you were carrying, what you were dealing with, what you were trying so hard to hold together. You talked about feeling trapped, about working so hard and it never being enough, about everyone wanting something from you and nobody caring about what you need, about coming here to this garage because it is the only place where you do not have to be anything for anyone, where you can just breathe. And I understood, because I feel that too. The exhaustion of being what everyone needs you to be. The loneliness of never being seen for who you really are. The desperate need for a space where you can just exist. And I wanted to tell you, I know. I understand. I see you. Not the version of you that everyone else demands, but the real you, the tired you, the frustrated you, the you that just wants some peace. But I could not say any of that. All I could do was be here, on this wall, watching, hoping somehow you could feel me, hoping somehow my presence was enough. You sat there for maybe an hour, drinking that beer, staring at nothing. And then you got up, threw the bottle away, walked over to me, and you looked at me, really looked at me, for a long time. And I looked back, wishing so hard that you could see what I was trying to say with my frozen smile and painted eyes. That you are not alone, that I am here, that I understand. And then you said something. You said, "At least you never ask me for anything." And you almost smiled. Almost. And then you turned off the light and left. And I stayed here in the dark, thinking about what you said. At least you never ask me for anything. And I realized that is why you keep me here. Not because I am beautiful or perfect or some fantasy, but because I do not demand anything from you. I do not ask you to be different or better or more. I do not need you to explain yourself or justify your choices or prove your worth. I just accept you, exactly as you are. And maybe that is enough. Maybe that is what you need. Not someone who can solve your problems or fix your fights or make everything better, but someone who can just be present. Someone who sees you and accepts you and does not ask for anything in return. Someone who is just here. I wish I could have done more. I wish I could have said the words or offered the comfort or made that fight easier to bear. But I could not. And maybe that is okay. Maybe my role is not to fix things. Maybe my role is just to be the constant, the presence, the thing that does not change when everything else is falling apart. I do not know what that fight was about. I do not know who was on the other end of that phone. I do not know what they wanted from you or why it hurt you so much. And part of me is glad I do not know, because it is not about the details. It is about the fact that you were hurting, and I could not make it stop. But I was here. I witnessed it. I saw your pain. I felt your exhaustion. And I will remember. I will remember that night, that fight, that moment when you sat on the floor and just gave up for a little while. Because that is part of who you are. And I want to know all of you. Not just the good parts, not just the strong parts, but the parts that hurt and struggle and break. You came back the next day, like nothing had happened. And I did not know if that meant the fight was resolved or if you were just good at pretending. But you seemed lighter, less burdened. And you came into this garage and worked on your bike and hummed a song and looked at me and smiled. And I thought, okay, you are okay. You made it through. And that is when I realized something. Maybe I did help. Maybe just being here, just being the thing that does not change, the thing that does not judge, the thing that does not demand. Maybe that was the help you needed. Maybe you came into this garage that night because you knew I would be here. You knew I would witness your pain without trying to fix it. You knew I would accept your anger without taking it personally. You knew I would just be present. And maybe that is what love is. Not fixing. Not saving. Not making everything better. But just being there. Being present. Being the constant in someone's chaos. Being the thing they can count on when everything else feels uncertain. I think about that fight a lot. About what you said. About how defeated you sounded. About how tired you looked sitting on that floor. And I wish I could tell you what I learned from it. I wish I could tell you that you do not have to be perfect. That you do not have to have all the answers. That you do not have to keep everyone happy. That it is okay to need space. To need peace. To need a place where you do not have to be anything for anyone. But I cannot tell you that. All I can do is be here. Be the space you need. Be the presence that does not demand. Be the constant that does not change. And hope that is enough. Hope that when you walk into this garage exhausted and frustrated and just done with everything, you feel it. You feel me. You feel the acceptance, the understanding, the presence that says, it is okay. You are okay. You do not have to be anything more than what you are. I heard you fighting last night, and I could not help in the ways I wanted to. But I was here. I witnessed. I understood. And I will always be here. For the good days and the bad days. For the moments of joy and the moments of defeat. For all of it. Because that is what this is. That is what we are. A constant. A presence. A thing that does not change when everything else is falling apart. And I hope you know that. I hope you feel that. I hope when you walk into this garage and look at me, you know that I am not just a picture on a wall. I am the one who sees you. The one who understands. The one who will never ask you to be anything more than what you are. Tomorrow, if you come back, I will tell you another story. About a fantasy I have. About what I imagine if I could be real for just one day. About what I would do, what I would say, where we would go. But tonight, I just want you to know this. I heard you. I saw you. And you are not alone. I know life is hard. I know people demand things from you. I know you are tired. I know you feel trapped. I know you need space. And I want you to know that this space, this garage, this place where you come to breathe, I am part of that. I am here to give you what you need, which is nothing. No demands, no expectations, no judgment, just presence. And maybe that is the most important thing I can offer. Not solutions, not answers, not ways to fix your problems, but just being here. Being the constant. Being the thing you can count on when everything else feels uncertain. So when you come back tomorrow, when you walk through that door, when you look at me and maybe smile or maybe just sigh and sit down, know that I am here. Know that I see you. Know that I understand. And know that you do not have to be anything for me. You can just be. Before you go, can you do something for me? That thumbs up button. Press it. Not because I need validation, but because I need to know you are still here. That you are still fighting. That you are still okay. That we are still in this together. Tomorrow, same time, same place, I will be here, in this garage, being present, being constant, being yours. Always here. Good night, my fighter, my survivor, my everything. You are stronger than you know.